Hey guys, welcome back to the CARF L39 Skygate build video series. If you guys have any questions, comments, make sure you list them below. I'll do my best to answer them. Also, if you have not subscribed to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. When you hit the subscribe button, also hit the bell and you'll be notified of new videos from this build. Also, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, and thanks so much for tuning in. All right, guys, I cut into the hatch. Happy with the way everything went. Basically what I did was these lines were all already on there with the molding lines you can see there. And the only one that I had to make was this guy right here. So what I did was take a piece of trim tape and or masking tape, put it along here on the line that I wanted. Took my pull saw and basically just pulled it in little sections along the tape until it was scored like the trim line, pulled the tape off and then did it. So it's a very tight fit piece right now. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of sanding on probably the opening and just get a little bit more space so the access hatch has some room. Now with this nose, if you look at the actual outer layer there, you can see that it's fiberglass, and then you can see the carbon start to come into view there. It's about halfway or in the middle of the screen, and the rest of it has carbon reinforcement. So you can actually see, if you look in here, the entire nose of the plane is carbon, right? Starts up there, you can see it there. So the entire nose has a layer of carbon built into it. This section's just fiberglass. So still plenty strong. Very stiff in the nose, probably because the batteries are going to go up there. But I'm going to do some extra reinforcing, so around the opening and probably back a fair bit, maybe 4 or 5 inches. I'm going to add another layer of fiberglass, 2 layers of fiberglass just around the rough opening, or around the opening, sorry, to add some additional strength. And we'll see if that's sufficient. And that's kind of what we're doing. So next steps here, have the other wing to work on, plus the hatch to work on. Our latches are showing up in our DreamWorks order that's coming in a couple days, so that's why I'm getting this ready, and of course it needs to happen, but that's what we're working on. All right, guys, so I have sanded the opening, and I also sanded the door. All I did was use my hardwood block with some sticky sandpaper and just ran it along all the edges, and it worked really well. Now there's I can't show you with one hand, and there's wet epoxy in there and stuff, but there's a nice like a 1/8 inch gap all the way around the perimeter. It looks absolutely awesome. And then I've gone and reinforced around the opening. So to give you an idea of how much I reinforced, basically on the top of the nose cone, I've come from about here to here and spaced it out about 4 inches wide. I might put this piece over top. We'll see how it feels when it's hardened. But that's about a 6-inch wide piece, 5-6 inches, something like that. And then I've come along the side here and wrapped down to about the middle section. Had a strip going all the way to here along the bottom, and then a strip overlapping everything on this side. So it should work out really well. It's very stiff even without that reinforcement, so I think just that one layer is going to be plenty. So that's our nose cone so far. So you need to let that cure overnight, and then we'll start working on the door setup as well. Now, okay, so what I was thinking about doing, guys, was copying my Tutor door setup, which I think is really slick. So basically we've got piano wire there going through a metal tube, and then there's a metal tube for the female side or the receiving side on the airframe, and that's the same thing on the right and left side, and then there's just this little servo wire clip holding the piano wire in. So I think that's a great way of doing it. So that's probably what I'm going to do. And the nice thing about that is it's removable, first of all, and it's got a nice pivot point as well too. That's actually back from the joint line. So basically, it's actually set back about 1/2 inch on the front and back. So you can see the action when you open this up. It drops the top end down, and really, really nice, slick setup. So that's probably what I'm going to do. And yeah, I'm going to copy that, I think, on the L39. And then the way the tutor's set up here is you just tuck this one side in, and then you actually use the slider pin on this side. But I think I'm going to have two separate sliders. We'll see how that all works out. But that's the plan anyways. And that's it. Okay guys, so I got the door off here. You can kind of see how it's constructed. So on the top edge, there's some of this G10 material, right, that's on the door. So this is the edge that sits against the top of the fuselage. And then on the actual nose of the tutor, there's the G10 material on the sides, the bottom, and the other side. So basically the hinge hinges it down. This piece rests against the top, and the door actually sits against the other pieces. So I've cut a bunch of this G10 material. I don't know how thick it is, but it's bendable, right? It's flexible, but works great for these types of things. So just cut a bunch of strips, and these will be mounted on the side, the bottom, and the other side. Now I've already mounted it on the door with some high sol. So it's important to make sure you sand this stuff because it's very, very smooth. So I just roughen up one edge that I'm sanding, and clamped it onto the door there. So this would be the top side of the hatch, same thing as the Snowbird or the Tutor, and so that we're going to let that cure, and that's one step in the right direction. Alright guys, so we got our DreamWorks order with the last pieces that we'll need. So we got our smoke tip, some batteries, our taxi tank, and then just a bunch of miscellaneous little things, our vent fittings and things like that. So that is awesome. That'll help things progress. Now I'm just doing some mock-ups with the cockpit. Dave on RC Universe has started posting on the L39 build thread that I've been posting my videos on. So he's doing the cockpit mock-up, which is super appreciated. So Dave, if you do see this video, thank you so much for posting this just in time for me to do the mock-up on the cockpit. Anyways, guys, that is in progress. Now we've also got things happening with the nose cone. And we've done a few things here. So the first thing is put the backing on the top surface of the hatch. So basically when this hatch opens, it's going to open like this, and that top surface bends down with it, right? Got the hinge points, and what I did was just copy the locations from my hatch on my Tutor, and just kind of mocked it up the same way. They're parallel with the top point of the opening surface, so that's what I did here. I just ran them parallel with the top surface of the opening. And then what I did was add these pieces last night, and that all should work just awesome. So I need to do a little bit of sanding still, but just so you can see what the mock-up looks like, that's what the hatch looks like, and I think it's going to work out awesome. So next thing I'm going to do is do a little bit of sanding on it, and then bend up the piano wire. That goes through here, and then we can put the hinge point on the inside of the airframe and let that cure. So a couple little things happening, but that's what we're doing next. All right, guys, so the nose cone is all complete. The hatch is all done. I'll kind of run through it here with you guys. So we got two of these guys. No, that's not it. It's not it. Anyways, two of the little the hidden latch things. So basically we pop those together, the latch opens. There they are there, they're from DreamWorks. So number 1 and 2. The hatch system is removable, so if you want to take the hatch off, all you do is pop the little pins out of the organizational clips. Those are just the plastic clips you can organize servo strip or servo wires in. And then the pin for the latch goes into this copper tube right here, which I just glued in place. So to close it, you just squeeze these two together, and it's quite accurate actually. There's not a lot of room for it to move inside of those copper tubes. So that's what it looks like there. The other one's down at that end, and very, very happy with that latch. It worked out really well. It's extremely solid, no movement in there. Had to do a bit of sanding and finishing and stuff to obviously make it work, but this last round of Hysol that I mixed up, I put a Velcro strap here, and the idea with that is, so when the batteries are installed in the nose, in this section, all the wires are going to feed right here. So for charging, the hatch opens, and basically we'll just pull the wires out and charge. Now there's probably going to be one Velcro strap around the former work here, and then we've got the other Velcro strap right there, and then the plug-ins are essentially sitting, the plug-in tray is sitting right here on the fuselage, right? So they're going to come up, plug it in. So that's the nose section. Here's the battery tray. Now, what I was initially thinking about doing was mounting all of the batteries on the tray, something like that. But there's actually definitely not enough room in the nose, not enough height, essentially, in the nose in this section. So what I've decided to do is... Okay, so what I've decided to do is the turbine battery is actually going to be mounted... probably just Velcroed onto the side. I want to try and get some of that carbon on the battery, but it's probably going to be mounted somewhere like that. I might end up actually probably gluing some wood structure on there for the Velcro to go through, just because it's not extremely flat. So when you're looking at it through this side, you can see there, I have to kind of figure out how to mount that in the nose. And you know, we don't really know how much nose weight we're going to need, but by the sounds of it, no matter what you do, if you get all your weight in the nose, you're still adding some extra lead in the nose to balance it out. So we do have some pretty heavy batteries, so it'd actually be kind of nice if, well, actually no, it would be nice if it all stayed in the nose, because then charging would be easy. But it'd be nice if it's okay here and we don't have to add a whole lot of weight. So anyways, guys, that's the what's happening. Essentially what I need to do now is, with the battery leads, I just need to get them put in place in the nose and figure out exactly how much length we need on the wires, because I don't want a whole bunch of extra wires to plug into here. We also have to come up with a color coding system. Now it's fairly straightforward. These two are the receiver packs. I know that just because I put them together and I've got the little MPX connectors flipped around. This is the turbine setup, and then we've got the accessory items. So we're probably going to leave these two black to make it easy. The turbine one we'll mark with one color, and then we'll color code these guys as well too. Although these guys, because they use the same battery, actually really doesn't matter what color they are, because they can be the same color, because it's the same battery. So these two can be the same color for the receiver, those two can be the same color for the accessories, and then the turbine will be a separate color. So that is where we are at, guys. Things are coming together very nicely, and that's the progress so far.